Hi, everybody. How are you? I can see everyone slowly streaming in right now. I'll wait until I see a few more people. We've got 33, 37, 39, 43. Okay, it's scrolling in nicely now. Just want to have a nice general welcome to those returning today and to those attending today for the first time. It's wonderful to have you here. If you're unable to attend yesterday's forum, here's a bit of a day one recap of Because We Can, which was about celebrating the contributions of persons with disabilities. We had Suzanne Blanchard, Vice President of Students and Enrollment, University Registrar, the Chair of the new Canadian Accessibility Network Governing Council, opened the day by speaking about Carleton University's commitment towards inclusivity and accessibility, citing many of the varied programs and initiatives the university is undertaking to build on its status as Canada's most accessible network and the most accessible university, and the work that's being undertaken to embed accessibility into the university's strategic integrated plan with its new coordinated accessibility strategy. Following that, we had Mayan Ziv, CEO of Access Now. She shared her experience running a company whose mission it is to help persons with disabilities by making known the state of accessibility of the places they want to go, work, play, learn, and create. And in that chat, we had a poll to see how many people were wearing shoes, because we were all talking about working from home and not having to wear shoes because we weren't leaving our houses. Mayan also spoke about how COVID-19 has impacted her company and how she and her team have shifted their focus to assisting people with disabilities at home through connectedness. She underscored the silver lining on all of this and encouraged everyone to recognize the opportunities we've all been given to build empathy, to amplify one another's initiative, and to share those stories and experiences. Then we had Jeff Wilbond, who's the Director of Accessibility for Canada Post Corporation. And he covered the history and strengths of Canada Post in supporting accessibility through the implementation of an accessibility advisory panel, the need for inclusivity by design and accessibility by default, and the growing digital component of accessibility. Then closing off the day, we had Sharon Solsberg-Gray sharing a touching personal story of living with a disability, experiencing ageism and its emotional challenges. From a certain home care situation to inaccessible airplanes and bathrooms, Sharon's colorful story highlighted Canada's shortcomings in enabling her to live the life she wanted, and she made a personal appeal for change required to create a more inclusive and accessible world. I'm quite certain today we will continue to build upon that relevant and insightful content during Let's Talk Tech. On a quick housekeeping note, before I turn the floor over to introduction and welcome today's first speaker, I want to remind everyone that all mics and cameras are off, and the Zoom platform requires we pay close adherence to time. We'll host a moderated Q&A at the end of today's panel discussion. Captioning in English and French will be available at the bottom of your screen, and I will share those links shortly once I pass over the stage to Boris. And now, without any further preamble, I'm sure you're all sick of me already, I'd like to introduce our first and esteemed speaker, Boris Vukovic, who is the Director of READ Initiative. Take it away, Boris.
Okay, thanks, John. My job is to introduce an esteemed speaker. By the way, congratulations on the successful first day. There was a lot of trepidation. A lot of things can go wrong in this kind of environment. And other than my kettle deciding to whistle just when I was speaking, everything else went smoothly. So in the end, we were very happy. Happy National Accessibility Week still to everybody. Our next speaker, this is something that's very dear to her heart. I remember us talking, Yazmine, in the fall, and you were saying, let's organize something for the National Accessibility Week. What can we do? And we were wondering, okay, do we have time for this or that? And here we are. And in all that is happening in the world, we have managed to have something very meaningful for this time. So I hope you're happy. I'm very happy about this. Yazmine Laroche. It's my great pleasure to do the introduction. Yazmine is the Deputy Minister of Public Service Accessibility with the federal government, Canada. Yazmine has over 25 years experience in public policy, program design, delivery, communications, strategic planning, corporate management. Yazmine has served in several federal departments, including Communications Canada, Heritage Canada Information Office, Privy Council Office, Treasury Board Secretariat, Infrastructure Canada. Yazmine is for us this amazing and for Canada, this amazing champion, advocate, a warrior for accessibility. And I know in our conversations, in a perfect world, Yazmine would prefer not to have to be that, and to see a world that is fully accessible. So, because we don't live in a perfect world, as everyday kind of circumstances demonstrate. We're so grateful to have somebody like Yazmine guide us in how to be champions for accessibility. For Carleton University, for the READ initiative, Yazmine is a true champion. Yazmine actually has an official title of a champion for Carleton University. I don't know if it comes with some kind of diploma or a badge. But it is an official title, and Yazmine is also has been awarded the Doctor of Laws from Carleton University actually last year, about the same time. I think it was June. Most importantly, Yazmine is a great friend of the READ initiative and Carleton University. So again, with great pleasure, I will ask you to do a round of applause, and your other members of the household will be wondering why you're clapping at the screen. And please welcome Yazmine Laroche. Yazmine.
Thank you, Boris. That's very generous of you and very kind as usual. Boris knows that I'm indeed, I'm so honored. It's always a pleasure for me to do anything involved with Carleton University. I hope that everybody can hear me and see me because, oh my goodness, technology. I have a serious love-hate relationship with it. I've spent the last 6 weeks having a battle with our internet service provider because apparently we're paying for a phenomenal service, except we're not actually connected to the phenomenal service we've been paying for. So my Wi-Fi has been very spotty, and I'm hoping the video will last, and I'm hoping that my sound will last. But Boris pointed out it is National Accessibility Week, and I'm so happy to be here at Enable Ottawa to celebrate with you. Boris knows that I am very passionate about supporting Carleton because, of course, it is where I grew up. And I'm so proud that my alma mater leads by example when it comes to accessibility and inclusion, whether it's the David C. Onley Initiative, the Paul Menton Center, the READ Initiative, the wonderful Canadian Accessibility Network. I am so proud to be the Deputy Minister Champion for this institution. And yes, Boris, it was Thursday, June the 13th, I believe, was when I was the proud recipient of a Doctor of Laws from Carleton. And what a wonderful day that was. So the Accessible Canada Act actually legislates National Accessibility Week, and it legislates that it should be celebrated every year. Well, why is that important? It's important because it means that we take the time to highlight the contributions of Canadians with disabilities and also to celebrate those Canadians who are actively removing barriers to accessibility right across this country. The week plays a key role in keeping the conversation on accessibility going with Canadians, and that is an essential part of creating the culture change that we need to become truly barrier-free. Now, because of COVID, we've gone digital this year, and we're marking National Accessibility Week online. We've got lots of great videos that we've posted to canada.ca/accessiblegc. They include messages from many special guests. They include tips and best practices from different government departments and different individuals living with disability in the public service. and the page is open to the public. So if you'd like to have a look, I'd really encourage you to do so. Again, it's, I'm going to scroll back up here, canada.ca/accessiblegc. Of course, you can also follow me on Twitter, and you can join the conversation all over social media. I'm at Yazmine Laroche, and the hashtag is NAAW2020. The other reason this week is so important to me is that it actually marks the first anniversary of the launch of Nothing Without Us, an accessibility strategy for the public service. And I am so proud of the progress that we've made in 1 year. Just a couple of examples. The Government of Canada's digital strategy has accessibility embedded as one of its foundational principles. More recently, the Treasury Board of Canada just issued not quite a directive, but a guidance document telling all departments that we should be adopting the harmonized European standard for all new information and communication technology products and services. At the same time, we've updated our procurement policy and contracting to embed and to make sure that whatever we're buying is accessible by default. Our Canada School of Public Service has launched a whole bunch of new learning products and is hosting awareness-raising events all about accessibility and disability inclusion. We've launched a federal internship program for Canadians by the Public Service Commission. We're making a big push this year to make sure that as the country's largest employer, that we are remaining dedicated to hiring summer students. And I'm really happy that my colleague deputy ministers are making sure that some of the students that we are hiring this summer include people on our inventory of students with disabilities. Our colleagues at Public Works, Public Services and Procurement Canada have launched an accessible procurement resource center to actually help people figure out how do you acquire products that are accessible. And we've launched something that I'm particularly proud of. It's called the Government of Canada Workplace Accessibility Passport. And it's all intended to help public servants get what they need, the tools and the equipment, so that they can be as productive and successful as they can be in their jobs. So that's in the first year, and I'm so proud of the work that we've done, and I can't wait to see what we're going to accomplish in the coming year. Now, today's theme is Let's Talk Tech, and I think this is a very timely discussion as we're searching for solutions to help us deal with some of the challenges presented by COVID-19. But I also believe that this pandemic is providing us with an incredible opportunity when it comes to accessibility and inclusion. Of course, we know that the disabilities community is very good at adapting to an environment and working conditions that don't match our abilities. But for a lot of other workers, this is new. And they're starting to get a bit of a taste of what employees with disabilities face on a daily basis in the workplace. And I think this experiencing is highlighting just how important it is to be accommodated in a timely fashion with what you need to do your very best work. Everybody is facing barriers because of COVID-19. You know, when I think about the public service context, Friday, March the 13th, we were all in the office. Over the weekend, we were told, please stay home. So by Monday, we were having to operate in a completely different environment. And what I am so amazed by is how quickly we've been able to pivot to be able to actually make this work. So for example, we have rolled out Microsoft Office 365 as kind of the core platform for all public servants. It was supposed to happen over a few years. It's been happening over a few weeks and months to make sure that we have access to this great technology, which also has wonderful accessibility features built right into it. We've also been getting people set up with the equipment that they need so that they can work productively from home. You know, all of a sudden, this concept of workplace accommodations has taken on a very different meaning, because what happens when the workplace is your home? You really have to think about it differently. We're embracing online collaborative tools. My own team uses Skype, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and WhatsApp for keeping in touch. So I think what we're doing is we're dispelling the myth that much of the work that we do has to be done in an office environment. And we've ramped up the way we deliver programs and services to Canadians, from making sure that the Prime Minister's press conferences have ASL and LSQ interpretation embedded, to making sure that the Canada Emergency Response Benefit was rolled out not just in record time, but is also accessible. So the pandemic has forced us to get creative, and it's showing us what is possible. It's showing that by building in accessibility from the start, everyone benefits. We can be fast, we can be creative, and we can be accessible. So I want to congratulate everybody involved with Enable Ottawa for making this event work virtually, and going ahead and celebrating this week, which is so important. Now, I'm going to pause because I'm running out of time, and I wanted to talk about one more thing before I wrap. We here in this room, in this conference, we are all about fighting for the cause of inclusion. I wanted to talk about inclusion and diversity from a broader perspective. We're all aware of the tragic death of George Floyd, and I know we're all trying to understand what it means. I'm struggling to understand it. I know this. We live in a very imperfect world, and we are all fighting in our own way for inclusion and equality. And we're all looking for allies to help us in our fight. I think it's important for all of us to remember that we can also be allies ourselves to others who are fighting for justice and inclusion. So please, let us be kind to one another. Let us listen. Let us learn. Thank you, Enable Ottawa. Thank you, everybody involved in organizing this, for helping us to learn and to listen. And please, everybody, stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Yazmine, for that welcome and plenary, and also for that really touching message at the end. I think that that's a great thing to bring up today. I think Canadians are really doing their best, to honor and to make sure that we're all respecting, the Black Lives Matter message that's being circulated. I wanted to thank everyone again for for making time to join us today for this welcome and plenary chat. We're going to be ending this talk fairly promptly. We're going to have about a 6-minute break, and then if you'd all like to come back and join us for our first panel. It's proving to be quite a wonderful discussion we're going to be having. So thanks very much, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks again.